if your brother sins against you, what do you do? Or if you have a grievance or if you have an issue with somebody, you go face to face to the person first.
Then you see these Bible-believing, Jesus-loving Protestants who are like, they're out there doing mission work out of love.
Mm-hmm.
They seem sometimes to have more zeal for souls than Catholics do.
Mm-hmm.
And what's that? And my dad, his response to that was, they make more sometimes with their nickel than we do with the full dollar.
Sure.
And so it's a stunning thing. You have both sides of that coin. So you can see that the remote though it may be, the possibility of getting there through the grace of the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the poverty of the lack of the sacraments. Once you're a Catholic and you know the value of the Eucharist, which we'll never fully know.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you survive? I don't think for me, it's like I can't survive a day without the Eucharist, but how people live that way and still have a love for Christ and don't just fall into just whatever. Anyway.
Right.
So this thing about having parishioners who disagree and complain, it is a thing in the church. And it's a struggle for a lot of priests, even good priests. They have to play politics, or feel they have to play politics, perhaps I should say, because the cancel culture is rife and it's there. So what are they to do? Do you have any suggestions? Because it's tough. They know that a lot of these people will go to the bishop and that's going to create strife. And yet, they have some faithful in their parish, and it depends. Sometimes the faithful are in the majority or minority, depending.
Yep.
And so, how do you navigate these waters? And what would your suggestion be?
Well, you started out, and I really appreciate the compliment or the recognition of my, I guess I'd definitely say a contemplative nature about the importance of prayer and how you enjoyed the Mass, and I really appreciate that. And I think to answer your question, I want to go back to that because that glory and praise goes to God. It's the way He made me. So it's always really been easy for me since the years in my 20s when I was discerning a vocation and started praying more, and I had access to Adoration Chapel. It was just a natural thing where I was drawn toward the Eucharistic adoration. And it's always been something that's been easy for me to sit and pray and contemplate and just still my mind. It's just, God makes us certain ways. And so it's all rooted in that, John Henry. When you see these people that, and I even gave, for example, sermons and teachings on the doctrine of fraternal correction, like, if your brother sins against you, what do you do? Or if you have a grievance or if you have an issue with somebody, you go face to face to the person first. You don't go around behind him. And in spite of that, for whatever reasons, people didn't want to come to talk to their pastor. But, giving my nature, when I was in these parishes and in any other parishes, or when I had a Latin Mass community in the Springfield Diocese where my folks retired, where I was on loan for a number of years, it was always about prayer. As a priest, I've always preached that a priest is first and foremost a man of prayer because he's a mediator between God and the people.
I am pleased to announce the launch of the new LSNTV app, which can bring all of LifeSite News' top video content direct to your phone, tablet, computer, and TV so that you can bypass the censors and keep fighting with us for life, faith, family, and freedom. Don't be alone in the darkness. We've been canceled. Fight the cancellation. Download the app.